I think earlier I called you all soul sisters.
You did.
Yeah.
I
No,
did.
you referred to me as her sister as you introduced me. Yeah.
Well, because you came out behind her, and so I would have introduced her as your soul sister.
She's like Lupita's sidekick that I.
Yeah, this her.
I'll take it. The only person I'll be a sidekick to in the world is Lupita Nyong'o. I'll take it.
Oh, see, this is how we starting off.
And I'll be your sidekick.
Oh,
I'll be your
that's very
sidekick. The
sweet.
time is coming. I
That's
swear.
very
I
sweet.
love that. It's like my buddy song. But you guys have been. I mean, you didn't meet during Eclipse. You've known each other for like 10 years plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
10.
we met in 2007. We just realized.
Yeah, so it's 11 years.
How did you
this
meet?
year.
What did you just like run across each other? Were you both training just in the industry?
Well, the world of theater and acting is small when it comes to like Africans, especially 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd heard of Danai. I'd seen she was in the movie The Visitor, and I'd heard of her play in the continuum that she'd done out of the NYU program, and it had gone to do other things. And she won an Obie. And I happened to be at the Obies with my best friend, and he very boldly said, "You have to meet Danai," and he came, and he didn't even know Danai. You didn't know.
I felt like he did though.
Well, he acted like he
I
did.
felt like we must know each other. I really believed we knew each other.
So he introduced me to her, and then we struck up a conversation and stuff. And I was a real big admirer of her. I mean, obviously she was doing things that I wanted to do and stuff like that. And so we got talking, and we got talking. And then next thing I know, in 2009. I get accepted to the Yale School of Drama and the
Tisch School of Tisch.
I did get accepted to
And
NYU.
they're both fighting over her. And so Tisch calls the African alums and says, get on this. Get her here.
Yes.
And we were like, and me and Nyambi and a few others were like, we're on it. And we were like, come on, girl.
Go to NYU.
The thing is, I mean, our weak point was that, we knew the teacher you wanted, and he'd been at NYU, but now he was at Yale. And we're like, oh, I can't argue that. That's the teacher I was taught by. I mean, we got him stumped right there.
Yeah.
And she went to Yale.
I went to Yale, but I went
she
and
did
I
all
learned
right for
under
herself.
And I learned under the teacher who had taught her, Ron Van Loo. So in the end,
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
And then Eclipsed came.
It was
Yale.
when I got to Yale, the very first play that I got to understudy was her production of Eclipsed. And so I was in that rehearsal room and everything, and I made a promise to myself that one day I would get to play that character, and then it was my Broadway debut.
Well, I saw it on Broadway, and it was fantastic. I mean, it's kind of snatched me right here. Especially you. I mean, I can't. We could talk about that all day. We have to talk about this. Okay, so how did both of you guys get involved in Black Panther? Because I read that you said yes, and you hadn't even read the script. You didn't care.
Well, I cared, but I couldn't read the script. They didn't have a script to show me, and they wouldn't have a script for a while. So I guess we both had to sign up before we'd seen a script, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually at the opening night of Eclipsed where it was on Broadway. It was in March of 2016, and I was coming out of the whatever that was, big building, wherever it was. So we did the party, and my manager says, I have an offer here for a Marvel movie, Black Panther. I was like, what are you talking about? I haven't seen it. What? It just didn't make, I was like, what are you talking about? And so then it was just catching up with what that was all about over the next week or so, and I was like, okay. And then I heard it was Ryan, and then I was like, oh my gosh, because I loved him so much from the work he'd done. And I was just like so proud of him. Like I had this pride about him. I'd never met him in my life, but I was just so proud of him and what he'd done, how he told stories that needed to be told, and was so young and just right out of grad school just did that. And I was just like, wow, I already really admire this man. And so I met him here in LA about a month later, and when I heard his vision, and it is something like, I think we're both quite picky about African stories and how they're going to be handled. It's they've been mangled many a time. Let's just be honest. So it was very important to hear the vision, and his vision was really, really fantastic. So I hadn't read it, but I was on board after that conversation.
And I had signed on to it, I want to a few months before that moment, and we didn't know
No,
while
we didn't know.
while we were working on Eclipse, we
didn't
didn't
know you
know
were
that we were both in it, because it's all top secrecy.
Right.
Until Ryan came to see Eclipsed.
Right.
And then he said, "Yo, your girl, she's in it too." And then we looked at each other. We're like, "Okay."
I think I'd figured it out earlier.
Yeah.
I think maybe through your manager or something. It told mine or something like that. There was something like that.
I didn't know.
Yeah, but it was so funny because we were hanging out all the time and we never talked about it.
Talk about it. Yeah.
Can we talk training for a second? Because no lie, I was in the gym this morning, like, I'm trying to get like these ladies. I'm trying 6 a.m. What, I need to know everything you did, everything you ate, every bit of it, because I want to do it, because you guys look, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it was dedication. We had a boot camp for like 6 weeks before the filming started, where we just focused on all the physical needs for the characters. It started off as at 4 hours a day for me for like 2 weeks, and then I was like bulking up, and they had to take it down to 2 hours a day. And it involved us doing like a group warm-up where all of us did it together.
But even the warm-up was quite challenging.
It was not easy. I mean, it was the Dora Milaje, Chadwick, Michael, Winston, who else was it? Letitia, and we all did the warm-ups together, and then we'd branch off and do our individual styles of fighting and figure out those stunts and stuff like that.
Who's the best natural fighter of you guys when you were training?
I mean, we were doing
like, who do you want to be with
Yeah.
when stuff goes down?
I mean, Chadwick.
Yeah.
Chadwick has like a history in martial
arts.
Like, and he's just smooth with it, and he
Yes.
understands the thing about.
He's zen with it.
He's totally zen. The thing about fighting is that it takes like a mental stability and a mental acumen, that doesn't necessarily come naturally. And this is a philosophy of battle, of combat, and Chadwick has it. And he understands the anatomy as well. So like he can just like flip your wrist and you're incapacitated. And he has that because he's done it forever. So I was always just in awe of like his ability to like speak the language of battle.
Letitia said that you were the most natural fighter that she saw.
Oh, well, I'll put her checks in the mail. But no, I mean, I don't know, I guess to each his own, But I mean, it was very much like, it was, we had some amazing women in there as well. Like, they were women who I loved the women they got us we got to get together with for the Dora Milaje. These women some of them are stunt women, some of them are from dance, some of them were from things like, even circus performance. Like, it was a very interesting group of women who came together from all over the world and who all brought in great, like, grace and ability and all of that. So, it was interesting for me, I guess the difference between this character and Michonne was just, in The Walking Dead, it was just that this character, there's a history to how the Dora Milaje move, which is, there's a tradition. Okoye is totally a traditionalist, and so, she really is about form and specificity of, and she's gonna keep that form even when she's, dealing with a bunch of baddies in Korea. She's gonna retain the ancient form of how you combat, because there's nothing better than, if it's, Wakandans have that mentality, right? Where it's like, if this is how the Wakandans do it, then this is the best way it's done.
Yes, exactly.
I love that. Okay, I know. One last question. I know we saw you in the trailer for Infinity War. So what's it like, the difference being on that set than in this set?
Well, it was, it was a lot more people. It was a different world of people, you know what I mean? Which was really interesting to reconnect with these people that it was very interesting coming on set, and they there's this whole other world of people you've seen on the big screen a lot, and now you're like about to work with them. And that was pretty awesome. That was pretty cool. But it was just the world expanded, which I guess is why it's called the Marvel Universe. It's like you felt like I suddenly was like, oh, this is a universe. Like, I felt that universe the minute I walked on that set.
Well, I think this is going to be a good opening, because don't you have a birthday a couple days before? Aren't you a Valentine baby?
Yeah. I'm Valentine's Day baby.
Yes,
Indeed.
Well, then that week, it's already blessed, because it'll be Danai's birthday and the movie will open, so there we go.
And Lupita's planning party.
Another Coming to America party?
Yeah, she's going to top that.
Yes.